This Champions League Matchday 6 picks edition of the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Underdog. Underdog is hooking up new customers. Play just $5 and get $100 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code PLGP. Welcome, everybody, to the Premier League Gambling Podcast on the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. My name is Malcolm Bamford, coming to you from Newcastle upon Tyne in the northeast of England. Today is Monday, the 8th of December. We are here to have a look around a few newsworthy events from the weekend just gone. Premier League weekend, which has got one more game to go tonight. Before we get stuck into Champions League Matchday 6 fixtures for Tuesday and Wednesday, joining me in our never-ending quest to make sure the show doesn't go at the same time, 2 consecutive attempts, is Mr. Barry Pedaluna. Barry, 5 o'clock on a Monday. We've hit a new one tonight.
Yeah, and definitely not my responsibility on this occasion, so I assume you're going to explain to everyone why you are to blame.
There's not too much to explain. We did have the rare hangover special last week, Barry, when you were hungover. I was not deemed fit enough to participate in a hangover special. I failed the hangover test. I was so hungover, I was unable to participate. You messaged me at what time? About 4 o'clock, and said, "Are we doing the show tonight?" And I just replied, "Fuck off." Yeah, I wasn't a well man. But it turns out, in an attempt to make my cold go away, I funneled a litre of famous grouse on Saturday. And not only has it not made my cold go away, it made me very, very poorly. But at tea time yesterday, I had to do Lazio v Bologna. Holy shit. I deserve a Pride of Britain award for getting through that. Literally commentating on that game, swallowing mouthfuls of vomit every 7 minutes, Baz. All-time absolute nightmare. One of the worst days of my life. Anyway, I fought through it like the trooper.
Yeah, you are a bit of a fanny when it comes to alcohol. Like,
yes, that's
never known anyone.
Not the drinking of it.
I've got a more successful tale of coping with the alcohol this weekend.
Go on then.
I went out at 12 o'clock on Friday afternoon and had a pint, and then I went for a meal with which I consumed a full bottle of red wine, and then we went ice-free curling. I had 2 more pints.
Ice-free curling. Yeah, you need to tell us about that.
Good fun, that. So I had a couple more pints. Then we went for some cocktails. I probably had 4 or 5 cocktails. Another glass of red wine. I went back to the red wine at that point. And then at about 7 o'clock, I went and met up with the kids. Went to a gig. I had another 3 or 4 pints in there. Watched a gig. Got right in the mosh pit because I was hammered. It was a great photo. Actually, the band put a photo on Twitter of the lead singer crowd surfing, and he's jumped in the crowd on his back. And right behind him is me, just stood there with my big heat at the front, with him on top of me. But that was quite funny. But yeah, I had a good 10-hour session, 12-hour, 11-hour session, something like that. Loads of wine, loads of beer, loads of cocktails. Saturday morning, got up, took Chloe to referee in for a couple of games. And then Saturday afternoon, drove to Birmingham, went to another gig. So, you know.
I don't know how you do it, Baz.
Cracked on with it. Just some of us can just take it, you know.
Yeah, I'm fine with the drinking of it. It's the processing of it in the 12 hours or so that follow that's always been an issue. Been quite a bit of stuff going on. I was looking forward to the World Cup draw on Friday, which I watched in the van on the way to... I was going to Hazelwood Castle, Paradise Lane, which was all right. The draw itself, Gianni Infantino, what a peculiar man. Because he hosts the draw. He's a football administrator, isn't he? That's his job. He's obviously rose to prominence. He wasn't like a vaudeville comedian that has then made a sideways move into football administration. And on these occasions, just so happens that he can use the 2 skills that he's got. He's out there like Bruce Forsyth. Like, he's doing it. Are we all having a good time? I can't hear you and all that. It was just fucking baffling. Like, he's doing skits. He's doing songs. Robbie Williams comes on. I don't think he knew where he was with his fucking undignified dance routine and preposterous suit. The whole thing was just meant, and then Rio Ferdinand's a cretin. But But I have to admit, Barry, as enthusiastic as I've been about the whole World Cup and the amount of teams that have qualified, if you look down the list of games now, there's a lot of dog shit matches, isn't there? Fucking hell. It's going to be quite attritional.
There's no group of death anymore, is there? Let's be honest. Remember when you always had a group of death, didn't you? And now there's nothing, no threats to anybody.
One of the big problems is I think 8 of the 12 third-place teams qualify as well, which means there's much less jeopardy. If you pick up 3 points, you're just about certain to go through. I very much enjoyed, there was some pre-designated Pride matches, Barry. I don't know if you've noticed this. One of which was in Seattle. I think it's July the 26th. So the dates and the cities for the Pride Games were preordained. So that game on Seattle, July 26th, is Egypt v Iran. So I'm sure all the couldn't have worked out any better. So I'm sure all the little gay fellas will have a lovely time at that one. And I've got a pick for the second game, Barry. Paraguay are way overpriced on opening night. Mexico, South Africa is early. The second game is later that evening. USA, Paraguay. USA are odds on, which is insane. They've got a championship midfield. Paraguay 5-2 plus 250. You said we could do one game on every show between now and the start of the tournament. It's just a little blue sky thought. So there you go. Get on Paraguay at 5-2. England's group, Barry, I think it's trickier than it could have been. But like we just said, there's no huge jeopardy because 3 points will get you through. And you never know who's going to finish where and where you end up. So there wasn't.
It shows you how much attention I've paid, Malcolm. I can't even remember who's in England's group other than Croatia,
Ghana, and Panama.
I was out Friday night when it was all going on. Oh, was it Friday? Yeah, it was Friday night, wasn't it? And then I just glanced over it all the next day and I read all the silly stories about Trump getting awarded some sort of FIFA
Peace Prize that was good, yeah.
Because he didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize. Infantino has just created a new prize to give to Trump. Oh, man, the whole thing.
That's exactly what happened.
The whole thing's going to annoy me from start to finish. From now until next year, that World Cup and all the fucking garbage that's going to go around it is going to do my tits in.
Callum was first in the chat tonight. Cal, welcome along. Smudger was second in, squad number 7 and 9. John's here, John Culliffe, enjoying my soldier through. I'm sure he'll enjoy the ads in a minute. Joe Dollar, pretty quiet, Joe, so far this evening, maybe because Arsenal got turned over. And I think we have to touch on, Barry, the biggest story maybe of the weekend. You made me laugh, which doesn't happen very often in the last half an hour, Barry, because you cheeky little scamp. One of your responsibilities, of which there are a few for this show, is to do the thumbnail. And you've put one Mohamed Salah's picture on the thumbnail, Barry, which you little mischief maker. It did make me laugh. I lolled at it. Callum was first in the chat saying, whoever did that, it's not funny, which was the exact opposite response to me. It's really weird what's gone on. It's objectively hilarious. But can you help me work out what's happened? Because I don't know if I've missed something. My understanding of it is, Barry, right? Liverpool have lost a few games. The aging, out-of-form Salah has been benched 3 times. And then all of this, he's gone moaning onto the press and called a massive world of shit. Have I missed something, or is that just what's happened?
Well, you might have missed something. We might all have missed something because you don't see what goes on behind the scenes, do you, is the problem. So all we've got is his story, and what he thinks has happened. But either way.
What do you mean? But what's his story, though? His story is he's been put on the bench 3 times.
Well, I don't know. I think he's probably not happy that... I think he's probably blaming his poor form, because he has been in poor form, on the fact they've spent loads of money bringing in loads of other players and changing the way they play, that now he's struggling and he's sort of feeling he's being made the scapegoat, is what I think. But I could be wrong. Either way, I don't really give a fuck, to be honest.
No, that's one of the
it's really funny. That's the only thing that I take from it. Wouldn't it be lovely if he went on strike in January to force a move? I was thinking that'd be nice.
One of the great beauties of it is that I don't give a shit either. The whole thing is funny, and I think we can just all agree that we hope terrible things keep happening to Liverpool FC, their players and their supporters. I think we can all sign off on that. Fatty Meris is here. Oi, Fatty. Palace up to 4th. Palace are up to 4th. we'll get through the picks and some eye catchers before we make a couple of Champions League picks. Let me tell you that you can access all of our free picks and podcasts in one convenient place, which is the SGPN app. Download it free in your app store or just type in SGPN. I used it this morning, actually. I listened to the NFL review show while I was still sleeping off that whiskey for the 7th time at 11 o'clock this morning. Yeah, picks-wise, I'm currently 4-5 with one game left, but I'm in profit, which is fine. And because the two big ones that hit for me were the Villa team total, in hindsight, Barry, 11-4. Fucking hell. It was gigantic. Well, I know it hit in the 90, literally the last kick of the game. But they could easily hit it before that. Like, they got in plenty good positions. It would have been an unlucky loser. And then the Leeds team total at 7-4. So them two, Palace were another one. Palace was solely on the prices because up until the 90th minute, all three options were on the table. But that's what made Palace the bet, because Palace were the biggest price. They were double the price or whatever. Palace was fine. The one that let me down, really, for my stake and stilt knacker, Baz, was Brentford. I'd done the team total on Villa, Leeds, and Brentford. And Brentford just shit the bed at Tottenham. Really disappointing, because that would have been a nice little punt. So a couple of unlucky ones. The Chelsea-Bournemouth stats play really should have won. I got lucky on Newcastle, which is fine. But yeah, I'm ahead, which is fine with Wolves to come tonight, Baz. I've got no idea how you've done because, like I said, I've had my head down the toilet for 36 hours.
Yeah, I mean, bit of a roller coaster for me. Started well with the Arsenal-Villa game, took the both teams to score, so that came in easy enough. I then completely blanked the Saturday afternoon. But, like, it didn't feel like there was no terrible picks in there.
Yeah.
The Newcastle game was taken away from me last minute. I had Newcastle handicap, so I lost that in the last minute. I had the unders in the Everton game, lost that right at the death as the third goal went in. And the other couple of losers I had were one goal away. I needed another goal in the Spurs game. Chelsea finished 0-0. I had Chelsea to win. So I wasn't anything more than a goal away on anything. And then the Sunday done well. Took West Ham double chance.
Yeah.
Palace on the outright market at 9-5 was a good price. The West Ham was a good price as well. So two good plus money winners Sunday. Palace were my dog. Scorer hit again. Foden this week. I'm sure it's about 3 or 4 weeks in a row I've hit my scorer. Hitting a bit of form there. So yeah, I think I would need Man United to come good tonight to squeeze me into a profit. But overall, as I say, no picks that I would regret. Nothing went terribly wrong. Just a whisker away on a few things.
Yeah, we go through the eye catchers. Let me tell you about Kalshi. Partnered up with Kalshi, a real money prediction market, legal in all 50 states. 50 states you can trade tons of markets, including NFL, college football, college basketball, NBA, NHL. But besides sports, I've got other things, including politics, entertainment, and the weather. So you can trade anything at Kalshi. New Kalshi customers get $20 to invest when they use promo code SGPN. That's KALSHI, promo code SGPN. And Underdog is your home for pick'em entries. You can win up to 5,000 times your money. Brand new offer here at Underdog. Play $5, get $100 in bonus funds. Sign up with the code PLGP. Eye catchers wise, there was two really good games on Saturday. Two games that bookended the slate, which were the Villa-Arsenal game. Villa 2, Arsenal 1. That one, I mean, Villa was my underdog. 130, I just thought was a huge price. Again, you get lucky in the last minute, but on a 130 shot, you just want to be in it, and they were. And it was just a very, very good game. I thought Villa were excellent. And then Arsenal came back, and with 20 minutes left, Arsenal looked like the only winners. Then all of a sudden, Villa managed to drag themselves back into the game and got the winning goal right at the death. But just again with Arsenal, the little nagging doubt, the little red flag that we said they've now played 5 games against top 6 teams, and they've won none of them, Barry. None out of 5. You can't, even at half-time, Arteta had to change things round because he's still got a CDM standing up front. I just don't think it's sustainable. And good, if you look back now, Barry, it's the opening day 1-0 win at Man United, where they were a bit fortunate, and then the 1-0 defeat at Liverpool. At the time, we didn't read much into them. That level of performance looks a bit shit now, doesn't it? So not only if they're not beaten Chelsea, Sunderland, Villa, Manchester City, Liverpool, that level of form is just a red flag. And as much as Man City have been trying to get beat a few times, they're right in it. And whispered quietly, Villa are sniffing about as well. Suddenly, I can't remember. What was my bet with Fef a few weeks ago? I don't know if he fancies the Paddy Power early payout, but you might want to settle that sharpish, Fef. I think it was Villa to finish above Man U, wasn't it? Anyway, he might be able to tell me. I can't remember. So yeah, Arsenal for me it was a good game. It was a good game, but there's that nagging suspicion, Baz, and they're still desperate to blame everything on a couple of injuries as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's one of them things we've said we're Arsenal all season. Obviously, great form, but not putting anyone to bed and being a little bit too pragmatic sometimes in some of those bigger games, like you say. It's got to be a bit of a concern, particularly not picking up anything against those bigger teams.
Oh, was that it? Sorry,
that's it. Yeah,
I was starting to look at a different page then because
sorry,
you looked like you were going to say more than 10 words. Yeah, I was just dragging up Arsenal's little form table there. And right, okay, so now they have now, because Palace went into fourth, they have beaten a top 4 team, which was Palace. But the other games there are Man City 1-1, lost at Villa, drew at Chelsea, drew at Sunderland, lost at Liverpool. So that's one game out against a top 9 team that they've won. 3 draws and 2 defeats. So 1 win in 6. All the other wins are the bottom half teams. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9 wins against teams in the bottom half. And in this league, which is absolutely cutthroat, when a team even the dog shit teams like Brighton, who were fucking awful again yesterday, but they'll just turn up and beat you one day because that's all they want to do. They're not care about any consistency. And then Leeds, Liverpool was a little bit of a madness because I watched the first half. It was absolutely awful. And then I went out, started to consume that whiskey. And Bob came through to shout me that it was 2-2 and then came back through to shout me that it was 3-3. So I've watched the highlights. I don't really know what's going on there, but Leeds have been competitive at home. And I think just at the bottom of the table, Leeds picking up another point just helps sort of keep Forest in West Ham, Fulham, teams like that, Brentford. All those teams are going to have to stay honest because it looks like Leeds are going to give Leeds and Sunderland, obviously, as well, are going to give those teams something to think about, Pat.
Yeah, I mean, again, Liverpool Leeds I didn't catch because I was out on the night time, but I was watching the score notifications come through. And when the 3-3 come up, I was just in that little interim period between the support band and the main band coming on, and that come up. That cheered me up. And then I got the message from someone saying, "Have you seen the Salah interview?" And I quickly got the notification from the Athletic with the headline of Salah kicking off. And again, that cheered me up. So that I had a more enjoyable Saturday night as a result of that. It was quite good.
Joe Dollar pointing out that Kai Havertz will be back soon for Arsenal, so I'm sure both of the goals he's going to score are going to strike fear into the rest of the league between now and the end of the season. And the other thing I noticed, I know the league's really tight in it. A couple of weeks ago, we joked, how are Tottenham within 4th or something? Yeah. I looked at the league on Saturday tea time and Everton were in 5th. Now, I've paid no attention to Everton. The only time they've got on my radar in the last month was last Saturday when we absolutely humped them 4-1. And then they win on Saturday and they're sitting in 5th place. Where have they? Can you play a joker one day? Is that what Tottenham did? Play a joker and get 12 points for winning a game? Because I don't know how they ended up in 5th. They're back down to 6th now.
Tottenham?
Everton.
Oh,
Everton are down in 6th now, but Palace went above them. Tottenham are back down in 10th, which is about right. After winning, this league's a little bit insane, isn't it?
It's bonkers. I mean, you look at Bournemouth now down in 13th. They were in the top 6 not long ago, and suddenly they're closer to relegation points than they are European places. It is absolutely nuts at the moment in terms of that middle glob of teams. 2 wins will get you up to 4th, and 2 defeats.
Wasn't there tons of Bournemouth Champions League chat? They were into 6-1 to finish in the top 4 and all that bollocks a few weeks ago. And then replaced by Tottenham, and then replaced by Everton, and then replaced by Palace. So which is good.
Man United tonight. You look at Man United tonight would go from 12th to 6th if they were to win tonight.
Yeah.
Great.
All right, okay. Any other eye catchers, Baz?
No, I mean, I didn't get to watch a ton of it, to be honest. I watched our game on Saturday afternoon, and Christ, we made hard work of it in the end, didn't we?
Yeah. I mean, everything. When you're at the bottom, and I've watched enough dog shit Newcastle teams, that's what happens. You concede straight from a corner when the bloke should never give a corner away. And then you have a dodgy handball. And then you have a horrible red card. And everything went our way. Without us, we phoned it in, really. He put out the championship midfield of Willock and Ramsey and just about got away with it. The last 2 or 3 minutes were obviously a little bit nuts. I think the worst thing that could have happened was Bruno scoring that corner, because then every time we got a set piece, he tried to score. The fucking idiot. He had 3 more shots from corners before half-time, which all just sailed out for a goal kick. Then we got a free kick by the corner flag. He had a shot from that, which he just cut the neck off it into the side netting. Someone just needs to say, Bruno, it was a fluke. Like, you're not that good. Stop doing it every time. So, yeah, that was a bit of a waste of time. And the rest of it was all pretty standard stuff, I think, Baz. You good to move on?
Yeah.
Okay. So, Champions League Matchday 6 picks coming up. Let me tell you about Novig, America's #1 sports prediction market. You get the best prices on Novig. Download the Novig app. Get $50 when you spend $5. Use the promo code SGPN. Get on the action with Novig. Promo code SGPN. And Rhythm has crushed NFL this season, especially on props. Been really good at identifying when to fade players and take the unders. College basketball is now up and running with over 300 schools on there. Really easy to sign up. Run predictions off the house model or make your own model. Use the promo code SGPN25 when you download the Rhythm app for 25% off your first month. Download Rhythm, use the promo code SGPN25. Okay. Champions League, a match day 6. I didn't make mine in any kind of chronological order, Barry. I've got nothing for the early kickoffs on Tuesday. Have you?
Not the early ones, no.
Right, okay. So we'll start, and I think we had to go to this game. Firstly, I feel like we had to go to it, but B, I also really wanted to go to it when I saw the prices. And it's 8 o'clock kickoff between Inter Milan and Liverpool, where Inter Milan are a little bit of line movement, actually. They were 15-13 plus 115. They're now into 11-10 plus 110. So they've been nipped in a little bit. The draw 13-5 plus 260. In Liverpool, 23-10 plus 230. And I just think at the prices, Baz, you have to take Inter Milan. They've won 4 of the 5 in this competition. Now, they've had an incredibly easy ride. Like, Inter's fixtures have been fucking wild. Ajax, Prague, USG in Kairat. Arguably the worst 4 teams in the competition they've won. But their domestic form's fine. They're second in Serie A, where they've won 5 of the last 6. They won 4-0 at home on Saturday. And they're taking on a team here in Liverpool with 1 win in 5 in the league. They've just failed to beat Leeds and Sunderland. They got humped 4-1 at home to PSV last time. And then, of course, you've got all the shenanigans around Mo Salah. Regardless if that was happening, just on a purely football point of view, you'd have to take Inter Milan anyway, just on form, like nuts and bolts form. You throw in all that Salah shit, and the defence still looks incredibly suspect. But I'm not going to take Inter outright. I'm going to take the Inter team total over 1.5. It's a little bit shorter. It's 5-6, minus 120. But I just crashed it with Leeds at the weekend at a big price. If Leeds can score 3 past him, putting up Lautaro Martinez against Dominic Calvert-Lewin, I fancy Inter can get a couple of goals, Baz. So I'll take Inter team total over 1.5.
Yeah, I had a feeling you'd go to that game. I dodged it. I thought you'd pick it up. But I don't mind the team total. I think that's probably the safer way to play it. I would rather be on the team total than Inter.
Just in case Liverpool scrap it 2-2 or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, you look at for example, the Atletico game where you had a 3-2. Liverpool come out winners, but you'd have still cashed your Atletico team total in that one. So, yeah, don't mind that at all. We forgot to mention when talking about Liverpool. Only Slots comments about Jacob Murphy last week. That was funny. I thought someone was making it up. I thought it was a made up. I thought it was a Frank Chipper.
Actually real? I thought it was Frank Chipper as well.
No, apparently he did say something about Jacob Murphy. I hope he did, but it seemed to come from some credible pages on Twitter. So, bit of a bizarre one. Like maybe that's what set Salah off. The fact that
sign his twin brother. Is he at Oxford or Portsmouth still? One or the other. Might be at Cardiff. Or is that Joe Willock's brother? Anyway, Newcastle players' brothers is not something we're talking about, Baz. What's your next pick?
No, Champions League football. Barcelona v Frankfurt, where I've gone. So that is on Tuesday, 8 o'clock. Barcelona are 1-6. Eintracht Frankfurt are 12-1. And the draw is 15-2 plus 750. A bit of a boring one to start off with, obviously with a 1-6 home favourite. But I'm always drawn to the Frankfurt games just due to the chaotic nature of their games and their complete inability to defend, it seems. First 3 games in this competition for Frankfurt all ended 5-1. They had 2 5-1 defeats and a 5-1 win. They were beaten 3-0 last time out against Atalanta. That was at home. So they conceded 14 goals already in this competition, and their 3 defeats have come by a combined 11 goals. So if they're getting beat, they're getting battered. And even in Germany, they've had similar bonkers results. We're beaten 6-0 at the weekend by Leipzig. They've got 5-4 wins in there, 4-3 wins, 6-4s. Just every game seems to be nuts. And Barcelona are full of goals at the minute. They're averaging 3 goals a game in the league. They've scored 3 or more in 6 straight league games. Their last home game in this competition saw them run out 6-1 winners. But they did fail to win in their last 2, Barcelona. And I think it really leads them needing to win here, certainly if they've got any ambitions to get into that top 8. But also they're getting a little bit close to the bottom end of the qualification spot. So Barcelona will win. I think they'll win well. And I'm going to take a -2.5 on the handicap. Frankfurt can't keep this Barcelona team quiet. Barcelona -2.5 handicap at evens.
Yeah, Joe's on a similar line. He's got Barcelona to win with over 4.5 goals, plus 150 just to boost it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you wouldn't put it past Frankfurt getting one, but Barcelona can very easily get 4 or 5, yeah.
Right, I'm just trying to hunt down my next game. Now, I think I'm all on Wednesday night. I am early on Wednesdays, 5:45 kickoff, 12:45 Eastern time. Might not have been a game that many people's eyes were immediately drawn to, and it's Karabag against Ajax. Karabag are 9-10, -111. 29-10, the draw, plus 290. Ajax, 27-10, plus 270. And I'm just going back to a big old fade of Ajax. And because they're not playing a big name, the price is pretty reasonable. Ajax have played 5, lost 5. They've conceded 2, 4, 5, 3, and 2 in those 5 games. Karabag are doing all right. They picked up 7 points. They won in Benfica. 2-0 win against Copenhagen at home is a fairly similar comparison game, I would suggest. And then you've got a 2-2 home draw with Chelsea, which is much better form than needed to knock them over here. The Karabag team total's really short. Now, I've just seen Ajax, 5 out of 5, they've conceded 2 or more. The Karabag team total is 7-10, -142. But if Karabag score 2, I think they win. So the 9-10 just appeals like. And then, of course, you can sneak a little 1-0 as well, which is entirely feasible. I just want to take Karabag to beat them. Ajax are the absolute whipping boys in this competition. So, yeah, Karabag 9-10, -111.
Yeah, he says that won't catch many eyes, but it caught my eye because I've got the same pick.
Oh, okay.
Karabag v Ajax. So Karabag sitting 19th, 7 points, and up against Ajax, who are rock bottom. And I just thought it was a really big opportunity for Karabag to take a step towards qualifying. As you say, 2 wins against 2 of the lesser sides in Benfica and Copenhagen. But the draw against Chelsea was really good. They've only failed to score in 1 of their 5 games. They've scored 8 goals so far. And Ajax have just stunk the place out. They've only scored 1 goal in theirs. Comfortably beaten in back-to-back home games against Benfica and Galatasaray. And they've lost every game by 2 or more. I just thought that, like you, there's not much reason to expect Ajax are suddenly going to bounce back here. Karabag, a hard place to go to. I'm just going to take Karabag money line. I've got them at 10-11. So team ride. That's the ray gun. Nice.
I didn't have my Reagan handy. I didn't think we often do the same games, let alone the same pick. Luckily, I'm a very athletic young man, and I reached it. Barry, I have got kickoff out. Your goalkeeper, your goalkeeper had gone down under controversial and cynical circumstances last episode with a fake thigh injury. So you could get some instructions onto your boys who've been thoroughly pummeled since the start of the second half. We played offsetting cards in the last episode where you went 9-3-5 up there, and then I went 9-3-5 the other way. So we are back where we started, Barry. The ball is just near your penalty spot in square number G7, Barry. That's G7. What have you got?
G7. We are going to go forward 7.
Yeah.
Left 4.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah.
Forward 3.
1, 2, 3. That puts you up to D3 in my half of the pitch. I haven't got an awful lot I can do here. I'm going to play that bad boy, Barry. I'm going to go diagonal 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which puts us back into your half, just left off the halfway line in square C9, everybody. That's C9. Okay, good. Barry still leads 2-1, but I'm fucking got a good feeling I'm going to get back to him. C9, don't lose that. Hang on, I'll just put my cards away. Put them on there, them on there, them on there. That back on there. Right, okay. Whose turn is it, Baz? Me. I picked an underdog, Barry, here.
Nice.
I like to try and find one underdog, and it is 8 o'clock on Wednesday. And the game is Benfica against Napoli, where we've got Benfica up at 5-4, plus 125. The draw is 9-4, plus 225. And Napoli at 23-10, plus 230. And this just jumped out as a WTF for me. Like, I thought we got a wrong team favourite. Benfica, a little bit of transition here, because Mourinho came in part way through this campaign. But they lost the first 4, and then eventually they got a win against Ajax, which we've just said doesn't really count. But they lost against Leverkusen, Newcastle, Chelsea. Oh, I think you'd put them as fairly similar comps to Napoli, maybe. Just that, maybe level 1B. Do you know what I mean? Napoli have 7 points in this competition with a real mixed bag of results, actually. But they're top of Serie A. They've won 3 games in a row there. And what caught my ear, Baz, was recent wins in Italy against Champions League teams. They beat Juventus 2-1 yesterday. They beat Atalanta 3-1. They beat Inter 3-1. So they're beating Champions League competition quite comfortably and better teams than this Benfica team. I saw Benfica up here, and Mourinho was right when he said they just couldn't live with the physicality of a Premier League team. They competed for 55, 60 minutes, and then they were always going to get run over because that's where they are. Mourinho was aware of that. He's not stupid. And I don't know why this is any different. The prices, again, were wrong. We did this with Crystal Palace at the weekend. I don't know why Napoli are underdogs here. So I'll have a little punt on Napoli at 23-10.
Nice. Yeah, I don't mind taking on Benfica. Like, good shout. Like that one. Final one for me then is Dortmund v Bodo stroke Glimt. Where are we with that one?
I think it's a slash, Barry, rather than a stroke.
Yeah.
I have also got this game, by the way. Don't think we've ever done a show where I haven't been on Dortmund recently, but yeah.
Call the prices out then.
Dortmund are 1-3, minus 300. The draw is 5-1. Bodo Glimt are 9-1.
Yeah, so just goals, isn't it? Where Dortmund are concerned. I'll be interested to see where you've ended up, but over 3.5 in all 5 Champions League games for Dortmund so far. They've scored 17, conceded 11, and they've scored 4 goals themselves in 4 of 5 games now, including both of their home games, which bodes well here, or Bodo as well. Yeah. Bodo Glimt have no wins. They've lost the last 3 on the bounce, and they haven't really faced any of the top teams yet either. Dortmund sitting 6th, and a good shout for top spot, particularly top 8. Sorry. If they can pick up 3 here. So plenty of motivation. The home form's good. They're unbeaten in this competition. They're unbeaten in the league at home. They have lost a German Cup game at home, is the only one they've lost. And plenty of goals. But as well as the goals, they've also had 7 clean sheets at home this season. So plenty of reason to think they might be able to keep it quiet at the other end. So I did think the Dortmund handicap was where I was going to end up here. But it's a little shorter than I thought. I thought I might get the 1.5 at a backable price. But you've got to go to -2.5. So I've jumped on the Dortmund team total. They always score 4. I don't even need 4 here. Just the 3 will do. Over 2.5 team total at 4-5.
So you've pretty much taken the entire handicap there, Baz. I mentioned all the goals that they've scored. The game totals caught my eye: 8, 5, 6, 5, and 4. They've scored 8 in the last 3 Bundesliga games. And also, I tried to find some kind of build some kind of handicap thing, or like Dortmund to win with over 2.5 goals, but they were all just too short, like you've just said, with the handicap. So I have got actually a secondary pick, which I could give out to make it different to yours. Because my main pick here is that Dortmund team total over 2.5, 4-5, -125. But just to zhuzh it up a little bit, over 1.5 first half goals is 13-8. Like, you could get this done pretty quick as well, I think. So main play was yours, Dortmund team total over 2.5. But I think Dortmund over 1.5 first half goals, 13-8 plus 162 is live. Because, as I say, Dortmund just get stuck into these early and often. And I think, Baz, I've finished. Have you finished?
I'm finished.
Well, that was good, wasn't it? Do you have anything? Danny's not here. You're going to, and I bet you haven't had your tea yet, have you? Do you know what you're having for tea?
Yeah, I've had tea.
I went
early.
Tea already?
Yeah, well, I had a late breakfast. I skipped lunch, so I was ready for my tea early.
Right, okay.
So it was a bit of a... But I had a nice Greek pita. So I had a pita bread. I got a pork tenderloin. I'm a big fan of the pork tenderloin at the moment because it's nice and lean, but it's
love a pork tenderloin. You
cheap,
can't whack it.
Really cheap cut of meat. But so dice that up. And I've got some Greek seasoning. So I put loads of Greek seasoning in. So it was a bit like a Greek gyros type thing in a pita with a little bit of garlic sauce and some oregano fries.
Oh, nice.
Nice. No, that was canny.
I've got some, just the last hour before we started the show, Baz, I've shredded a little bit of steak and marinated it with some shallots, red pepper, grated a ton of ginger and garlic. And I'm still trying to shift this cold, you see. So I thought ginger and garlic might be the way to do it. So I've shredded a ton of ginger and garlic in there. That's been sitting marinating for an hour. And then I'll just fry that up now with some rice. Bob likes to get the dark soy sauce and the honey involved. He likes to sticky it all up.
Yeah, I like that.
So that is the plan. Immediately, now I can hear them starting to gather. The vultures starting to gather. The IT department's down from work, and Bob's like sniffing around for his tea. So that'll be frying within 90 seconds. Baz was finishing this. Barry, have you got anything to tell the people about before we let them go?
A couple of things. I was down at Nottingham Forest training ground yesterday. I didn't see Sean Geich, but Chloe was refereeing the under-9s at Forest yesterday.
Any good?
That was good fun, yeah. I enjoyed it. There was some absolutely outstanding football on display. Like,
really?
Under-9s football, but they were absolutely just fucking running rings around each other. Like, completely different for Chloe to referee. She's used to doing under-9s football on a Saturday, but it's sort of grassroots level. And you come here and they just want to get on with the game. There's no rolling around. There's no fanning about. No time wasting. Like, multi-ball in play. Like, they just want to play football. So frantic. Like, so I think for her, it was a bit of an eye-opener because you had to be really on the ball because everything was just rapid. But yeah, watched some great football. Really enjoyed it. And now I've got to make a decision. I've been, as you know, I've done 3 gigs and 3 nights the other night. And tonight I've had my eye on, there is a gig in Nottingham. Baby Shambles. Pete Doherty for the band. You're charging 50 quid a ticket to go to Rock City and see them. I'm not paying that. However,
I see Barry about to make an appearance again.
I've threw the derisory offers out again tonight, and somebody's just come back. Somebody literally in the last 2 minutes has accepted £10 per ticket for a pair of tickets. So I'm going to have a word with Chloe and see if she wants to go watch Baby Shambles, and we'll jump in the car and go. And he's not on stage till 9:15, so we can just bolt out at 8 o'clock and go watch a couple of hours.
Sounds like a Viz comics trick, like Blasey Barry and his derisory offers.
Well, when you're going to 30-odd gigs a year, Malcolm, you've got to get the bargains every now and then. So
just wander around making derisory offers to people.
I seem to have got a good judgment now of concerts that are overpriced and will definitely be cheaper on the night.
Yeah, okay.
And I saw that Baby Shambles one before when they put it out at 50 quid. At Rock City, you're generally paying 30, 35 quid for a decent band there. And he's just a greedy fucker, isn't he? So I thought, no, I'll wait and we'll try it in the last minute. So yeah, I might be heading off to another gig, 4 gigs in 5 days.
Have a lovely time, Baz. We'll have to do the Prem show on Wednesday, Baz. Excuse me, I don't know if that's any good.
Well, we've got
working Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Champions League Newcastle, so it'll have to be later on, won't it?
Oh, but yeah, that's fine. Yeah. We'll get the results hot off the press and we'll go from there. But that's a conversation for another time. Thanks, everyone. We apologise for blindsiding you with yet another new podcast time. We'll try and keep it somewhat, what's the word?
Punctual.
What did Ryan say?
Consistent.
Something is the key.
Consistency.
That's it, yeah, which we ignore. Yeah. Anyway, thanks, everyone. Thank you, Barry. Good luck with your picks this week. We will see you all down the road. Cheers.